what's the difference between the standards for RTO and also the user's guide to the standards for RTOs 2015. So I always say if you are going to look at any organization or website, make sure it is from a reputable organization. So things are changing all the time. It's like, well, if our system was so perfect, if the laws, legislations were so perfect, we would not need to change it constantly. But this is what we have and this is what we work with. So if you can think about the standards as in the acts, where it pretty much just lays out, hey, every single company, every single RTO, because this is specific to RTO, not every single company, sorry, but it's similar to the acts in a way that it's saying, hey, RTOs, registered training organizations, you need to do this, okay? So it specifies what they're required to do, and then if you need to understand further, that's similar to the regs, where it then goes, hey, this is how you go about doing it. Why is there no consistency in this with the other legislation? I don't know. It just is what it is. So once again, I just say we just work with it. So if you wanted to have a look at downloading the standards, that will take you to legislation because it's a legislative instrument. So I'll take you to legislation.gov.au, make sure it's the latest version, and March 2024 is the latest version. You can go in there, do your searches using this magnifying glass here, just the same. There have been changes obviously to the TAE training package, and so a lot of that has sort of required the standards to be changed as well. So not a big deal, but if you want to be looking at the users, what do they call it? The user's guide to the standards, then this is what it is here. Okay, so you can, I think, download a PDF version. Personally, I don't like PDF. I don't like saving anything to my computer because as soon as I do that, chances are they're just going to change it on purpose just for me. Okay, so what I would do is just go to the user's guide, and then you can also look at it from the different standards. And then also it will give you, I'll just go into one of them. So what will happen is it will just copy pretty much verbatim from the standards, like as an example, right? So that's just copy and paste from the standards directly. But then like, how does that help us as an RTO, as a, trainer and assessor on how to actually implement it and get that really working for us is that it breaks it down. It lets you know, hey, guess what? If you want to understand this and how we may actually put it into a way that's going to work for your RTO, it will be down here. Okay, so you go around about halfway normally. I'm not saying it's all the time because none of these standards are equal, but like if I go to, I don't know, say this one, of course it's not active. If I go back perhaps and have a look at say one of these here, conduct effective assessments. Like a lot of this does seem really nice to have, but they are actually from the legislation. Like the standards specifically says that, hey, you got to be fair, you got to be flexible. I feel like I'm going to break out into song right now. But what does that really mean? Like authenticity. How am I supposed to ensure that as an assessor, I'm going to make sure that the learner's work is going to be authentic? And that's why, they may put the clauses in here, but it means that you need to perhaps get some ideas down here perhaps. So we've got fairness, flexibility, validity, and so forth. But I was talking about authenticity before here. So this is how you may actually implement it. So ensure that evidence gathered belongs to the student and it's that person's skills and knowledge. So for example, if I just gave the learners all the answers, well then I'll be in big trouble because I'm not really assessing the learner. I'm just telling the learners everything, right? So other things are like verifying the person that you are enrolling. There have been several cases that I know of that learners are not who they say they are. And that's the reason why we need to make certain checks, make sure that, we have some form of ID because online learning is a little bit more difficult, and RPO, it's the same deal. It's just a bit harder to verify certain things. So you get the drift and the deal of why we need to do things like this, and how an explanation from ASQA, who is the national regulator, really, really helps us in doing that. I hope you're on track with everything. This is for task number 2, if you're wondering. And if you have any questions about anything, I'd love to make a video about it. Okay, bye.